Okay, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what to buy and what not to buy by your first week of university. So just fair warning, your mileage may vary a little bit here. I've done my best to talk to the other first year engineering course coordinators, and we've tried to agree on as much of this as we can. But if you're looking at subjects outside of first year engineering, this may not all strictly apply, and it may not apply to every one of you equally. This is just going to be my advice for the most part. Some of it's going to be required, but most of it's just advice. So let's get started. Should you buy it? First thing, pens and paper. Absolutely. Buy some pens and paper. You will need them. I don't care how much you plan to do on your fancy touchscreen, tablet, laptop, whatever. Buy pens and paper. They are required most of the time. There are certain rooms, like some of my rooms, where you can't have a thing out that has a LiPo battery in it. So any phone, tablet, smartwatch, whatever, isn't allowed to be out because it's an explosion hazard and da 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 da. So you will need pens and paper in that case. A couple of dollars, buy some. If you want, go and buy a notebook for every single one of your subjects. That's a really good idea, but at least buy something that you can work with pens and paper wise. Absolutely required. Following on kind of from that, laptop, should I buy it? Maybe. You don't need it. You absolutely do not need a laptop. It does make your life easier. Your life will be far more convenient with a laptop, but if we need you to be in to have access to a computer, that subject has almost certainly been scheduled in a computer laboratory with desktop computers that are far more powerful than any $3,000 or $4,000 laptop you're going to buy. So unless you're buying a 10 grand laptop, you're not beating the desktops anyway, and don't do that. So that being said, it is unbelievably convenient to have all of your stuff in one spot, and that's really nice. So if you can afford it, great, do it. But if it means you're going to be eating ramen noodles for a month because you can't afford it, that's okay. You are not required to have a laptop. The other caveat that I'll give is your life will be easier if you get a Windows machine. If you know how to boot Linux and run Windows from boot camp out of your Mac, great, you'll be fine, no dramas. But look, there are some things you're going to do in engineering that are going to use programs that will only run on Windows, and some microcontrollers and like electronics that you plug in that are much easier to use on a Windows machine. So if you don't own one yet and you're tossing it up, buy a Windows one. If you do own one, that's fine. If you do own a Mac, that's fine. You might just have to use the university computers a bit more often. Cool. Think we're good there. All right, next is, Microsoft Office. Do you need to buy it? Absolutely not, because it is so important that you are using Microsoft Office that we will give it to you for free. So the university will give you Microsoft Office for free. They will give you an @UON email address for free. They'll give you a terabyte of OneDrive storage space for free, and you're expected to be using these things, okay? The storage space, I don't really care about. Use whatever you want. It's your own storage, but if you hand me a document, it absolutely needs to be written in the most up-to-date version of Word. And we will be doing things like marking you on your formatting and your use of Word. So you don't have to like it. That's fine. There's a percentage of people out there who don't like Microsoft Office. Too bad. Get over it. It's free. Take it. And that goes for a bunch of other software at the university as well. There's quite a few pieces of software that the uni will give you for free, so don't pay for them. Go and exploit that fact. Get them from the university for free. Make sure you're up to date. Cool. That's Office. Headphones, the other piece of tech hardware. I think this is our last piece of tech. Should you buy some headphones? Absolutely. You will need headphones. For a few different reasons. One of them is, as you can probably tell, there's going to be a lot of videos going on, video teaching going on. And what happens in many courses is you'll be sitting in a computer room needing to do a thing, and the lecturer will have pre-recorded a video on how to do it, and you need to watch that video in the class and do the thing at the same time. Nobody wants to hear 30 different versions of Dylan's voice giving the same explanation slightly out of sync because you all didn't bring headphones, right? Bring some headphones. They don't have to be $300 headphones. I spend a lot of time doing recording and on my computer, so the $300 headphones were absolutely worth the investment. But again, if it means ramen noodles for a month, buy yourself a cheap set of earbuds. You don't have to be expensive. But do get yourself something decent enough that you can have online meetings with them. So make sure they have a mic, make sure that, they're comfortable enough for you to wear in whatever way that they work so that you can do online meetings efficiently and effectively, because that will be a requirement for you as well. Sweet. Calculators, almost certainly not for most of you because you already own it. What you used in your HSC is almost certainly the calculator that you want for first year university. There is one second year electrical subject where it's really good to have a calculator that does imaginary numbers nicely and easily, but that's a single second year electrical subject. Use the one that you used in HSC. And if you didn't own one and you want to get one, that's fine. Get one of the HSC equivalent ones. They're like 20 or 30 bucks. That's all you should be spending on a calculator. Textbooks. Wait, absolutely wait. Don't go and buy a $200 textbook that you don't need to buy. I have so many textbooks that become monitor stands and had no other purpose in their life. There are some subjects that you'll do at university that will rely heavily on a textbook, and those ones you absolutely want to get. For me, it was Mech 1110 and Bounty. Absolutely important, super duper useful, but my math textbook I very rarely used. So, and now, I may not have the same math lecturer you had, so listen to your lecturers is my advice. Eng 1500 does not have a recommended textbook. Don't buy one, okay? I don't want you to even try and buy one. We deliberately don't teach that way. Then there will be other subjects like Surveying 1200, which I think does have a recommended textbook, but I'm pretty sure Lloyd, Dr. Pilgrim, the course coordinator for that course, is going to give you 200 pages of notes that you'll probably be fine with. And my advice here is listen to what Lloyd tells you, Dr. Pilgrim tells you about whether you need to buy that textbook or not. So even just because it's recommended, don't rush out and buy it. Listen for advice from your course coordinator first, okay? Don't go and spend all of your money on textbooks that you will never use. Parking passes. All right, the parking situation at university is terrible. You can buy a parking pass. If you want to park a vehicle at university, you have to pay for it. I have to pay to park to go to work and park my own car there as well. If you go to university and you want to just park in a spot for a single day, you can buy a single ticket through their new online app system for like $5 or $6 a day. I don't know how much it costs. They change the price all the time. So you can just cough up $5 or $6 a day, or at least you used to be able to buy a year-long parking pass where you don't have to buy a ticket every day. You just pay a fee for a year and you can park. Neither of those situations guarantees you a park. So they will sell you a ticket very happily, even though there are exactly 0 free parking spaces left available at the university. And they do. They oversell parking passes. So just because you get a parking pass doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a spot. Come 10 a.m. in the morning, it's often extremely hard to find a spot. There are some things you should be aware of as students, that there is generally opened up some overflow parking, they call it, behind the forum. So if you put the forum into the Google and go there, and also there's often overflow car parking between next to car park 14. So you can put those things into Google, hopefully, and you can drive around for a little while, and hopefully you'll find it. They're just basically big fields that they open up and say, you can go and park on there. They are free, all right? So if you're in overflow car parking, it's free. And if you are not, you have to buy the ticket. Often by 10 a.m., many mornings, they are full. So I think that's everything I wanted to say about parking. Oh, yeah, the overall conclusion to this is get public transport if you can, so you don't have to deal with any of this crap. It makes everybody's life better. All right. Food. Good. Should you buy food on campus? Maybe there are food places on campus. We all fall victim to going there and getting snacks and whatnot. And you can buy your lunch and stuff. The Bar on the Hill sells food. That's something that you can Google and get your way to. It also sells beer. The Shortland Hub sells food. It's got a Subway. It's got a few other places near it. And then outside of the Shortland Hub, they often on a grassed area kind of above it, they'll park some food trucks. And you might be able to get some food from there as well. So you can do that. That's an option. Another option is they have what they call survival stations, and there's one of these inside of the ES building. It's probably the easiest one for you guys to get to. And it's got microwaves. I think it's got a fridge. It's got like boiling water and chilled water, and it might even have like toasters and maybe sandwich presses, stuff like that. It's like a little kitchenette area. You can go there. You can heat your $2 ramen noodles up. And you can make your own lunch there, which is often a lot cheaper. So by all means, exploit those things. They were put in for students to use. You're welcome to use them. Noosa and NUPSA often do some support in that environment as well. So things to look into. Okay, we don't have too much left, do we? PPE. Okay, so this is the final thing. This is the thing that we're going to spend most of the time on here. This is going to vary a little bit discipline to discipline. So the rules and advice here for a mechanical engineer are about to become different to a software engineer. That being said, I do firmly believe that every engineer, regardless of what type, should be able to go to site. So go onto a work site, and the bare minimum requirement for walking onto a work site in Australia is steel cap boots and safety glasses. And then often it is actually the full tradie getup as well with the high vis, although that's a little bit more of a gray zone. But every engineer benefits from owning these. Again, if it's going to mean that you have to eat ramen noodles for a month to afford it, don't unless it's explicitly on the list. So I'm about to give you the list of stuff you will need to enter your classroom in week 2. You don't have to have this by week 1, and you will get a reminder about this in week 1, but you will not be able to enter the room until week 2. All right? Now, this is about to split, and it's about to get different based on what room you are in for your Eng 1500 class. So if you check your Eng 1500 timetable and it says you're in ES 126, this next little bit of the video is for you. If you're not, go to the timestamps and skip to the timestamp that is relevant to the room that you're in for Eng 1500 class, okay? So with that, those of you in ES 126, this should be mechanicals, civils, enviros, aeros, and kind of surveyors, although you're a little bit of a special case. I'm going to talk about you at the end. So if you're any of those and your workshop is in ES 126, your tutorial is in ES 126, this is what you will need. Steel-capped boots, safety glasses, and work gloves. So when I say steel-capped boots, if you have composite toe boots for work or whatever, that's fine. If they have laces or no laces, that's also fine. It doesn't matter to us. But they have to be boots. I don't want to see steel cap shoes, no steel cap volleys, none of that crap. A boot goes past your ankle, that's a boot. Well, it goes up to your ankle. So buy yourself some boots, you'll be fine. Safety glasses are safety glasses. Buy decent ones. Don't buy super cheap crap ones, because the super cheap crap ones aren't actually shatter resistant. They're just crap. And buy some work gloves. When I say work gloves, I mean something like this, okay? This is for handling a sheet metal that's really sharp, or stuff with heaps of splinters, or doing lots of stuff that would give you blisters and things like that. A decent set of gloves. Decent set of work gloves are actually a really, really nice thing to own, and they're only like $10. So get a set of them. Get more than one set of safety glasses, because you will not enter the room without them, and we will not lend them to you because of safety reasons. We're not allowed to lend safety glasses. We're not allowed to have public safety glasses. So you have to have your own. So buy a couple of spare sets, because you invariably will forget them 1 week, and then you can just pull your spares out the bottom of your bag, all right? Or lend them to a teammate, but I'm not allowed to lend you safety glasses. So you'll need all of that for Eng 1500. You'll also be required to do some inductions, so find the induction video in the playlist and go and do the appropriate inductions. It'll be the ES126 induction, the EE lab induction, the ES126 induction, the ES lab induction, and I think that's it, but you'll be required to do them. Go and do them. Okay, surveys are a special case. You are in ES126, but you won't be on the tools, so you don't need any of this crap. You just need enclosed shoes. That's it. And if we get you on the tools at some stage during the course, we'll get you to buy the other stuff then, but don't rush out and buy it. for everybody, for anyone doing surveying 1200, which will be the civils and the surveyors, you will need a high vis vest for that course, I believe, for when you go and do your field work. So if you're picking up this, if you're a civil student picking up this stuff, or you're a surveying student, grab yourself a high vis vest, and then you'll be all good for 2 courses. Sweet, that's everything you need to do. All right. For those of you in ABEW, which is going to be the chemicals and the renewables, your timetable will say ABEW something, 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 possibly 100 or something like that. I don't know. There might be a number after it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's one big shed, basically. The rules are the same. You need the most. You need the most stuff. You are going into like a fully fledged workshop here. So you will need safety boots. So that's going to be steel capped boots, basically. Composite toe boots is also okay. And it doesn't matter if they're laced or unlaced. Doesn't matter. There are certain work sites where you have to have a certain type. We don't care. As long as they're boots, so leave your steel cap volleys at home. As long as they're boots, you're good. You'll need safety glasses. Buy legitimate safety glasses and buy more than one pair, because we are not allowed to lend them to you, and we will not be lending them. All right. So buy more than one pair, so when you invariably forget them at some stage in semester, you've got a spare set in the back of your car or the bottom of your bag or whatever. Buy yourself some work gloves. Oh, actually, no, don't buy work gloves. That's a typo. Don't do that. I'm fairly certain ABEW has banned gloves. So don't buy work gloves. That's a typo on my behalf. And if I'm wrong here, they will tell you about this in your week 1 class. Your week 1 class, they will tell you about this stuff, and then you'll need to have it by week 2. All right? Long sleeve drill cotton shirt and pants. So this is tradie get up, basically. The asterisks here are because if you're a chemical or a renewable student, I think in your second year you do a site tour of a Raring power station where you will need the long sleeve drill cotton shirt and pants, but they will also need to be high vis. And so you may as well buy the high vis ones in the first place, because they're about the same price. And ask Simon, your workshop leader, your tutorial leader in the first class, which of those should you get, and he will tell you what you need, okay? But if you want to buy them in advance, buy the high vis ones, and then you'll be good to go. You need a P2 respirator. This is a type of mask. Buy a P2 respirator. If you go into any place like Hip Pocket Workwear, they will know what you need. You also will need some ear muffs. They are not ear plugs. They are like the full ear muffs that kind of look like what I'm wearing right now. You'll need a set of those as well. As I said, Hip Pocket Workwear, which is just up the road, sells all of this stuff, and they kind of know what you need because they serve heaps of first-year engineering students every year. I'm not paid. This is not a sponsored deal or any of that crap, but, you know, they do right by my students, so I'll let you know that's probably the easiest place for you to go, but you don't have to go there. Okay, and then you are done. That's everything you need. All right. If you are in EE 103A, so that's the electrical, mechatronics, computer systems, basically, you just need enclosed shoes. Super easy. You're not on the tools or anything like that, but you are in a lab space, so you will need enclosed shoes, and you will have to do some induction. So there's an EE induction that you'll have to do. Look to the inductions video. It will tell you what to do. Easy. Okay, and then this is all the rest. So if you're anyone who hasn't been mentioned so far, you just need enclosed shoes. Super easy. You don't have to do anything. You're not in a workshop space. So here I believe I'm talking to softwares, medicals, education. Is that it? I think that's it. But yeah, you don't need anything. Job's done. Life is easy for you. All right, and with that, I believe we are done.